There you go, you can see it's hardly bubbling at all. But this one here, still bubbling quite a lot, still lots of bubbles on it. So what we need to do is we need to wait till it gets to this stage. This stage should be about 7 days, maybe 10 days after you first made it. You should be stirring and squashing every day. Okay, now we get to the next step. Hang on. Righto, now what we're going to do is drain it. And you get your stocking, lift her up, and a stick or something else is my theory. And you don't want to squeeze the moisture out of the stocking. You want to let it drain. So you just sort of hang it, or sit it over the barrel like that. Pretty easy. Sit it like that and leave it just to drip drain for, well, as long as you can. So probably, I don't know, half hour, maybe an hour, whatever. So now this should be about 7 to 10 days. So stop vigorously bubbling. It should bubble a little bit maybe, but not lots, not like the other one was. And just let it drain there, and then we'll what they call rack it, which is essentially tip it out of here and put it in another bottle. Alright, I'll come back and do that in a sec. Right, that's just sat there for a couple of hours now, and as you can see it's drained out, no more drips coming out. That's pretty empty. Now the beauty about using a stocking is rather than try and get all that pulp out of the wine later on to clear it, make sure it's nice and clear, it's already there. So we'll just chuck that straight in the bin. If you're so inclined, you can wash the stocking out and keep it, but to be honest, I could never be bothered. Right, the next thing we're going to do is what they call racking it. Now, we get our PET bottles, so you should have a couple of these, enough to hold as much as that, and then you give them a good clean, so they're nice and clean and sterilised. And then when you technically rack a wine, you should siphon it out of there into there, but because we're doing this in the low end, I'm going to use the old pour it out method. Should be fine. Just try and pour it slowly. Won't matter to start with, but you want to get as little of the gunk in the bottom. The gunk in the bottom is called lees. You want to get as little of the lees as possible in these, because you're trying to these to clear later on. And the less lees you have, the clearer it will be. So I'll just pour that in there. There we go, so it's about yay full. Now, very difficult to see. I was thinking they're close enough to see, you probably can't. It's actually just still bubbling. There's just tiny little bubbles still coming up in there, which is good, because this is a secondary fermentation stage. Now, primary fermentation stages convert most of the sugar into alcohol. And that is usually done with the access of the yeast to oxygen, hence the open bucket. The secondary fermentation stage, which takes a lot longer, we do in something where we don't have access of the yeast to oxygen. So this here with very little, with a very small top on it, as you can see, will give it little access to oxygen. Now the other thing we've got to do to keep that oxygen out is to put an air lock on. That's what we use our balloon for. The balloon stops oxygen going in and keeps everything out, so that's what you use the balloon for. And you've got to leave them in there for probably about a month. You don't stir, just sit out of the light, nice out of the way spot, for about probably a month. So you can leave it a bit longer, leave it a bit less, and as it goes through, that is actually already pretty clear. Okay. But as it goes through, it will get clearer and clearer, and all of the cloudiness will drop out of it and will settle on the bottom, and then to be ready to bottle. But that'll take probably a month, so it does take a long time, but you actually don't have to do anything now, so just sit these in the out-of-way spot, do all the bottles up like that with a little balloon on top. You can put a pin prick in the balloon if you like, just to let the gas escape, but that's what you do. And I'll see you in a month, we'll see how it's going.